What's up, guys? We are back this Wednesday, hump day, with another episode of WGN's Underground. I know all of our fans and our watchers are going to love this episode and how we break it down, so make sure you guys stay tuned. Episode 7.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Megan's not here. You know more words than Megan knows the theme song. That's like,
I'm gonna learn the words.
She may know 3 or 4 words.
I'm gonna learn those words.
Of course, we miss Megan this week, but I am lead hosting in her place. Megan, stop missing days.
We miss you. We love you.
And of course, I am Gary Thomas. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, everything at I am Gary Thomas, and the two lovely ladies to my left.
Hey guys, I'm Lina Green. You can find me at just Lina Green on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
Hi, I'm Jamie Banks, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at JamieBanks_.
So we are breaking down episode 7. We are 3 episodes away from the end of season 1, and this one is called Cradle, and this is kind of the one that was a tearjerker for almost everybody in here.
I almost cried like 5 times. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah,
it was so intense.
It's indicative to its name, Cradle.
I was gonna say that the title was perfect. We got to kind of just see different kids and their different aspects of life, the things they do. So it was perfect, the perfect name. And the episode starts out with us learning about James having to go into the field. This is crazy because we never expected this to happen.
Yeah.
This was not the plan at all. So they're teaching James, Ernestine and Sam are teaching James basically the go-abouts of getting into the field, wearing the mask, oiling his hands.
Yeah.
If your knees start hurting, you got to get down there and really work.
I thought it might happen like in a few years. I didn't think it'd happen right now. He's so young. He's so precious and small. So just seeing him actually out there in the fields like made me want to cry. It was just so depressing.
Watching his little hands trying to pick that, and there's like thorns all on it. So he's over here trying to pick it. That is hard to watch. And this is a little tiny boy. He looks malnutrition. He probably is. That's why he's so tiny for his age.
I think he's malnutrition. I think he's just little because he's a lot younger than we kind of think he is. He's a lot younger than TR.
Even for his age, though, I've seen kids his age now, and they huge.
Yeah, today's kids are a little different.
GMOs they putting in food, but
I mean, of course, we see him, his hands bleeding. He used to wipe it on the bag, and then we see the first day he doesn't drink the water because he's so used to.
Yeah, he used to be in the house and stuff, and his mom told him. I think that was good for Ernestine saying, you know what, he has to learn, and her not sheltering him. That was a really defining moment because she's always sheltered her kids.
Sam wanted to. We see that the first day he doesn't have the confidence in him in his bag, so he switches the bags and takes the lashes for him. Yeah. And then they have the conversation about we can't shield him. He can't be soft anymore. Yeah. What did you feel when you hear a parent?
Well, it's only day 2 he's out in the fields because I could see that in like a month or something. But it's day 2 and you want him to go really hard, and it was just so intense.
Because he doesn't have a choice.
He doesn't have a choice.
Couldn't he have done a little bit less than he was actually capable of, so that would have been his number?
I think the number you have to go above. I think it's 300 pounds.
300.
And so if he was under 300 pounds, he'd get lashes, and then if he exceeds 300 pounds, as you saw, he hit 315. He has to hit that now. So it's kind of
Sam saw something that that Ernestine nor James would see. That the what's the guy on the horse?
Mr. Bill.
Yeah, he is after him because of what Rosalie did to him.
I didn't know. See, we had this conversation. I was like, he's alive?
Yeah, he survived the accident. He's after James because of what Rosalie did, because James is Rosalie's little brother.
See, if I was Rosalie and I knew I was going to run and leave him behind, I would have made sure he was dead.
She should have died.
He should have died.
He looked like he was dead until the next morning.
Ernestine saved him, basically. She had to,
she should have. I'm not, I love human life, but she should have let him die because they should know he was going to come after their family now. Knowing that Rosalie did this.
Well, she didn't know, and the saving point that it was Rosalie.
I mean, she kind of had to.
Yeah, she was doing what she had to do. So Sam sees the fire in his eye that he wants to get this little boy back. He wants to take him out. So it's only right that Sam is like, I can handle the lashes. I'm trying to help him. And after the conversation, we see that James is smarter than we thought he was.
Yeah, he picks up on things.
How old do you think he is? like
maybe
8. Yeah.
8. I'm not sure. The viewers, if you have heard how old James is,
let us know.
Have a speculation. Let us know.
Yeah, he is really smart. He takes off with Sam. I love how their characters, even if they're not brothers in real life, but their characters really do mimic each other. He's like a smaller version of Sam's character. It's so
we see the complexity of how kids think. He hears this conversation and he wears his mask. He sews his bag up with the dirt in it to make it heavier. That they would not know that he didn't make his weight actually.
Yeah.
Did you guys catch that?
At first, I was wondering what he was
something
doing.
Tricky. So it's
He's
for
such
that.
His mom he's learned how to sew, of course, from Ernestine or being around the house. He saw a way to get the dirt in there, sewed up the bag, and there it was.
Dang, that little boy. But when you have to survive, even at that age, you're going to do what you have to do.
Yeah.
Even that's what they're taught. Even at that age, you got to survive.
He learned that there's 2 masks. He might have to wear masks for the white people and the black people. He's smarter.
Another thing I like seeing, this was the first time we see Ernestine and Sam have a really tender moment, because there was always this resentment towards Ernestine with Sam, because he was like, you left us out in the field, and now you see him more tender, and she's like giving him like the attention that he needs now that Rosalie is gone.
I'm not sure if he gives her the tenderness. I think he's starting to see a little bit more of her.
Of
because
why
he says,
yeah,
because he says to her, is there something you can do to Massa or do with Massa or to talk to Massa in order to get
he knows.
James out? He knows.
He like, something you can do to Massa.
And you see her, how she freezes up, her body language changes.
She has to know they know.
Everyone
I'm
knows,
sure all
right?
the slaves know. Even if the mistress doesn't know, I'm sure all the slaves know what's going on.
That's her other son. That's her son. He knows that Rosalie is only his half sister. Rosalie looks a little different.
Yeah. I don't know if
he doesn't feel like for Rosalie like he feels for James though.
I feel like if given the chance, if he had to, save Rosalie's life over his, he would do that. He would pick her life over his. Like
Sam would?
Yeah, Sam. I feel like Sam cares for all his siblings. Like, it's just he shows it differently because Rosalie has, a different upbringing and the way people look at her and stuff.
Because she's female as well.
Yeah, he's jealous and he has a little bit of resentment towards her. So
we've always seen throughout this whole season that Sam has this thing for James. He makes him toys. He looks out for him all the time. Yeah.
And what he said to James was really sweet. He said, even if you have to play dumb, don't actually believe it. That was
a moment we already saw that he was not dumb.
Yeah. It was a very powerful moment. And I guess Sam could be playing more dumb than he actually is, for this illusion.
I love his faces.
Maybe that's a foreshadow that, Sam has a plan of his own.
Sam tripped me out with those faces he be making.
I know.
You can see the hatred on his face when he's looking at his master. He's like,
good with that, yeah.
Sometimes he looks like he's smiling, but I feel like it's just his face, or it's like a smirk that he does.
That's I was like, why are you smirking?
I think Sam's character, the actor who plays Sam, is kind of like overshadowed because his character is not as much of a lead. Like, he's actually playing the role very well. Very well.
Yeah.
It's a good role. People got to give him his props too. So let's move on a little bit. We get to see more of another child, Ben.
I love that. I love how they did that. Like, seeing through a child's eyes, and the story is woven through their experiences. I love that.
And that's why, Cradle is such a great name, and this whole episode was just powerful because we got to see things from a different perspective. We didn't see all the adults and all the chasing of the Make It 7. We got to see just what's going on with the kids. And I thought that was like, it's perfect time.
Oh, okay. Wait, I just want to jump ahead. We're probably not supposed to do this, but when Boo is watching, or Elizabeth is in the other room, that's like totally her perspective. Like, her from the situation.
Can we get to Boo?
I know, I jumped ahead, but I mean, when he said that, that's like totally
Jamie,
her eyes.
Get there, okay?
Yeah. That's awesome. Okay. I just got
Jamie's
excited.
Like,
I got excited.
I
had an epiphany. I had to say it.
So we're talking about Ben. He was the next one we really got to see and how he sees things. They find out that his mother is missing. She's gone missing. They go.
Oh yeah, Ben was next. For some reason, I keep seeing Boo running. For some reason, that's ingrained in my brain.
You gotta get to Ben too.
I know.
You want to go to Boo too.
As much as you guys talk about August in other episodes, we can't go to Ben. Right? So you gotta skip a little bit.
Your comments about August, I can have my opinion about his character. Oh my God. Okay.
So Ben's mom is away from. She ran away, and they go to the insane asylum or hospital.
Damn, they did a lot on her, and she has a lot of mental illness problems, and
from different portions of the brain, different parts.
Yeah, we don't think about what they had back then to take care of people with mental illnesses. You know,
we find out that they do a lobotomy.
A lobotomy for. I mean, some of the stuff she had could have been treated without it, but they did a lobotomy, which is pretty serious. They take parts of your brain, so that's pretty crazy that they were doing that back in those days, and just.
We see that Ben is snooping into the conversation that August is having with the doctor, and what happens? The things that August taught him click into his head, and he's like, I need to go to this room. I need to go to this room.
He could tell that the doctor was lying, that he was hiding something, and children are perceptive about like that. They can just pick up things. It's pretty fascinating, yeah.
This was like a really good moment. Out of all the kids, I was kind of more fascinated with this because it's like he used these skills to kind of figure out what he should do next. I need to go to this room. I need to feel what she was feeling. I need to see what she was writing. I need to investigate and lay down in her bed and look out the window how she would look, and I know where she is.
Yeah, that was crazy. It was like he was reading her mind, and they were saying that nobody could figure out what was in her mind, so he just kind of like envisioned it and read the words, and that was really cool.
You know, it's the things you're taught as a children. Children pick up things, like they can learn languages easier and stuff. So it's crazy. Like, just think of the things we could learn if we, you know.
Well, whereas, you know, all the songs on the wall, she obviously, you know, sung them when he was growing, you know, as a baby. And those are the vital years that your brain grows the most. Yeah. So he picked up on that as soon as he saw the walls, and he, you know, maybe he has this thing with his mother, you know, this connection, and whereas, you know, using the skills that his dad taught him and the connection to his mother, knowing that she sings the song lyrics on the wall, I know exactly where she is.
That was such a scary scene too, because it looked so beautiful, and she could sing, like she was singing.
Oh yeah, she could sing her tail off.
I was like, whoa! And then it just flashes, and it's really her in like rags.
Yeah, that was weird.
That
and
was
it was
so creepy.
Totally his perception too. At first, he was seeing his mom like this lovely, beautiful woman.
What he wanted to see.
What he wanted to see, and then it turns into this crazy woman.
That was so creepy.
It was very creepy.
The conditions they had her living in, and they're spending their last dollars to take care of her, and they have her in this on this mattress in this scratched up small room. I'm spending my last on this. I could have killed that.
I would have been so mad. I think we'll probably see him take her out of there. She probably would flourish better out of there.
I don't think so.
Well, I mean, when August started singing with her and she could identify him, that was like a moment with them, I think, eventually, because they can't afford it at this moment. They're still tracking down the Making Seven.
It'd be
can't
hard to
afford
bring her with them.
I mean, they would have to take her back home.
It's a portion of her brain that's missing a part of her memory. So she doesn't even remember her child. You know, she's mentioned, he asked her, do you remember me? Do you have the letters? And she doesn't remember him. She remembers
little bits about him. She's like,
I see her paw in you.
Yeah.
So she ultimately remembers August.
Something like, you know, when you have a child, there's a connection. And so she kind of has that connection still, but doesn't really remember who he is.
I think it's interesting that Ben took the time to ask her, does she think August is the good or bad wolf?
I love that, because he talked about that. They talked about that, and for him to see that in his dad and ask, like, it scares me. He was like, that scares me, and Pa. You know, is he a good person or is he a bad person?
Why do you think he thinks his mother would know?
Just because she's known him longer.
Yeah.
But it's funny because that's the conversation we're having on these after shows. Is he good or bad? And that's exactly what the son is saying too.
That's what I feel like. They play his character very back and forth. You can't altogether hate him, which some people want to with your comments.
Isn't that kind of the thing for every character? Every character does something bad.
Like Cato. Like Cato's characters like that. But then you have the good characters who Noah, Rosalie, they are the good characters.
Or maybe they just waiting for us to wait till the last couple episodes where they snap on us.
What are they going to do? Like, they'll snap. No, but you know that they are the good characters. They're trying to find freedom. That is their storyline. But you really don't know where Cato stands. You really don't know where August stands. You really... Ernestine kind of goes back.
You don't know where Ernestine... I love Ernestine. I love
she's about survival, though.
Yeah, you don't know what she stands. You don't know where Sam stands.
Sam is in his own world. Faces. Yeah.
This tricky face.
For him to try to... Oh, I'm finna jump again.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll talk about that when we get there.
So we see that with Ben, and then we move on to Boo. And we are going through this kind of fast, y'all. We're gonna go back.
Because
I know.
it was very
it's
one
very
of those,
sequential.
it was
Bam, bam, bam.
This was a very in sequels.
And I'm glad this is the episode that we have that Megan is not here and I gotta leave because it's a little easier to come.
I know. I feel like on the other ones, I'm like, whoa,
I'm like, whoa,
what just
whoa.
happened?
Yeah.
Like it was like we got to rest, and then right when you think you can rest, boom, that's what happens. But yeah.
So we see Boo essentially makes it to freedom. You know, she escapes. You know, she's found by Elizabeth in the woods or around the river.
Yeah,
she's walking, and Elizabeth takes her in and gets her secure and everything like that. But of course, we see some flashbacks of what happened to Moses.
Yeah, because we were wondering
eyes.
that. Like,
that was intense.
That was intense. Because at first I was like, is that fire or something? There was an arrow.
And I think this is kind of more the moment where it really clicked to me that we're seeing it through their eyes. Because we see, when she sees the water, the flashback that she has.
I
and
love
just,
those flashbacks.
You know, her point of view from when he's talking to her, giving her scriptures and telling her about the Israelites.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, that's like the moment for me that I was like, oh, Cradle, we're seeing it through
All
their
the
eyes.
people, did I not predict who was going to die, guys?
I predicted Moses.
Okay, Jamie, you predicted
we both did. We'll give it to us both.
Jamie said, I predicted that. That's sad. I mean, I thought he was going to make it. Once they got on the train, I was like, man, y'all gonna make it. For them to for him to get killed right in front of his child. That's
What's really crazy to me, though, is from the vision that we saw through her eyes, he was killed by arrows.
That's what I thought it was Indians at first until they got closer. You could see the hats, the colonial kind of.
Okay.
But I think they just used arrows. I have no idea. I'm glad you said something about that.
Yeah, at first I thought it was like a firecracker, but that definitely wasn't
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
But
maybe
it looked
explosion.
like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely an arrow.
It was fire on the arrow, like they set the arrow on fire.
It looked like, for me, I just saw fireworks behind him, and then the first shot was like the fireworks flashing behind him. He fell, and then the next time we see her, flashback vision,
Yeah, she sees the whole
arrows in his back.
And at first I thought maybe the Indians got him, but then when you saw the people come closer, it looked more like, colonials.
She was smart enough to hold back when they were getting close to her.
Some kids are like, no.
Yeah.
She's like, survival.
But hello, you gone, my gone. I gotta think about me now.
I mean, he was already dead. There's nothing else.
She really doesn't know that her mother's dead too. She just knows that the bad people caught her.
You know what? I feel like she does know, because even when she talks to Elizabeth, she's like, why didn't God save my parents? Like, you kind of, like someone that close to you, you get a feeling when they're gone. And I kind of feel like as a child,
well, do you think she thinks that the bad men, as she called them, God killed her mother?
I think she knows. I think she knows, and
she definitely doesn't know Ernestine is the one who killed her.
Oh gosh, I didn't even think about that.
So sad. Yeah, that's Ernestine.
But hey, Boo made it, and hopefully she'll make it all the way to the north.
Well,
I think Boo will, yeah.
She's there with Elizabeth, and Elizabeth is washing her, and the marshal comes and knocks on the door. She hides her, and of course the marshal finds Boo.
He was doing too much.
He's always
He was doing too much. I'm like, can he go home? Elizabeth should have told him to go home, because he's snooping. Why are you always there? You know my husband's
Because he
gone.
wants Elizabeth.
Duh. But I'm like, I would have got real with him. I'm like, my husband's gone. Why are you snooping around my house? You don't need to be in my business.
Well, Elizabeth knew that would not work. It wouldn't save Boo. Elizabeth, essentially, we found out, as we see through Boo's eyes, that Elizabeth did what she felt she had to do to keep Boo safe. Do you guys agree?
I can't say I would agree with that, but I mean, this is a little child. She can't have children. And I'm thinking she's feeling very motherly towards Boo. Boo doesn't have any parents anymore. Like, this is your mother's intuition kicking in, saying whatever means necessary. So I think the cause is just,
Yeah, I feel like she did what she thought she had to do. I also think he kind of seemed like a little bit stalkerish when he said, he was like, oh, I protect your secrets now too. It was like, you're the marshal. Like, it was just it was like doing too much a little bit.
It was like
a little bit weird.
It was for me, we've seen that she can be an actress.
Yeah.
We've seen that she can put on shows and do what needs to be done for them to get the information they want, to protect the people they want to protect. she's that kind of that woman.
I love her character, how she plays it kind of crazy, but like, like I love that kind of character. Because at first, when she on the first episode, I thought that was August's wife, like the crazy wife, and then we found out that it wasn't. And I was like, oh, she's not crazy. She's just be acting crazy.
She's a little off somewhere.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
I don't even want to say it's eclectic. She's just really kind of off at some point.
I like it, but I like the tenderness she showed towards Boo and like how.
You said you find it just. Do you think her husband is going to find it just?
No.
You think she's going to tell him?
No. She better not.
I think she is.
I think the marshal's going to tell him.
I think it'll come out.
He is so. Why would he have sex with that woman knowing she was vulnerable? Even
though he loves her and he's a stalker.
That dude, like, really, One Tree Hill dude has played some crazy roles. He was kind of crazy.
We can't wait to interview him. We are going to be interviewing him. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Can't wait to do that.
I'm like, you kind of crazy.
Also, Boo definitely should have just like covered her eyes because you know, like when you're looking at someone, they're more likely to see you.
You
right?
think he felt it?
I think
maybe
so.
He's just good at, you know how everybody's good at their job.
If she had just gone like that, it would have been better.
So that
just like that.
Yes.
I'm gonna hide right there.
It'll be dark
Is that all that would it take?
No, but it would have been better than your eye contact.
I think he knew. I think he because he's been around the house a lot. He always pops up like, I was just around last time. I was just patrolling at night.
And Boo just sat there the whole time.
Boo's so cute.
Hours, and she went up there and comforted Elizabeth.
That was such a sweet moment. And I don't think she understood, obviously, but do you think she knew that Elizabeth was somehow protecting her?
Yes, I think she felt it and she knew. Like, she was like, well,
I think she knows what that looks like with her own parents, Pearlie Mae and Moses. I think she knows what that protection looks like.
Yeah.
So, and then they've built this connection finally where she was able to speak to her, and then she sees that this is really a good woman, and she's told her, "I'll do anything to protect you."
Yeah.
She knew.
Yeah.
You know, she's not dumb.
So you think Elizabeth has zero feelings for this dude, Marshall?
Oh, absolutely.
No, okay. She loves her husband, but she's willing. She's a good person, and I think she definitely has feelings for this little girl who she's put little bows on her, and I mean, I think she really has a mothering, nurturing feeling towards Boo. I wouldn't be surprised if she adopt her.
I think she has a thing for this movement. This is her. Yeah. She feels very strongly about helping slaves become free and and keeping them safe, and she saw that this is just a little girl. No one else was going to protect her.
And this is crazy seeing Elizabeth's character go. I love character arcs. At first, Elizabeth was the one hesitant about doing this. No, I don't think I can. And now she has done a 360 and she's so involved in this. So
even after being in danger and all these different
life
hiccups,
was in danger. She's still so married to the cause, and that just shows an amazing character arc.
She's ultimately risking her marriage for this cause.
Yeah. I think her husband's gonna understand.
I think he would understand if they didn't if Elizabeth didn't have a romantic connection in the past with him, because it's like harder to understand versus it's like some like ugly dude that like she's not ugly, but like someone that like she's not attracted to, or
Well, maybe she's not attracted to him, but it's more so that when another man has something for your wife, he has that feelings for her, and you are now giving in to what he wanted. This is what he wanted.
They talked about in the beginning, whatever means necessary, we have to do what we have to do to get this cargo.
That's her defense.
That is her defense. It's not just that she didn't want to do that.
No, we see, the pain and disgust she felt about herself.
Would it be crazy if she got pregnant?
Oh.
Don't be putting no Love and Hip Hop twist out underground.
No, but she couldn't have a baby with her husband, and they can't really. And those times,
it could be him.
Yeah, it could have been him. Would that be crazy? I'm writing the story. Y'all listening?
She better not tell who the baby's daddy is. They don't have her attorney test back there.
That'd be crazy. Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Take notes if you're watching.
I don't think Misha and Joe are those type of writers. I'm not hoping.
Wait, that's not. I mean, it could happen because it could have been him that is why she couldn't get pregnant. Because they can't really test that back in those days. And so it's like, it could have been. So what if they didn't use protection? What if she does get pregnant?
It's possible.
That'd be so interesting.
That'd be out of control. I don't even know. I feel like
probably would be season 2 anyway.
Okay, anyway.
And speaking of family, we see that Henry, we get back to our main runaways, and Henry is looking for that connection, because Henry never had family. He was born on a breeding farm. And so he has a bunch of brothers and sisters that he doesn't really know. And he left the plantation with no family, and he's kind of looking for that connection.
Kind of looking for
the ones he ran away with, especially from Noah. And then we see a little bit of tenderness with Rosalie. Tenderness, as you like to say.
I love that when they, because we haven't seen Rosalie or Noah or Henry like until like the middle part of this.
Yeah,
it was cool. And then when you see them, it's like they're like in some, paradise. Her hair, she's looking beautiful.
They're the tribal lands.
Yeah.
And we see that Henry is really learning from the tribe, and learning how to place his feet and learning all these great secrets.
I always thought that. I was like, why didn't as slaves we go find the Indians and we're like, man, let's take our land back.
Well, apparently we've learned that they have helped for generations.
Yeah.
But it's a mindset.
Yeah,
We'll touch on that later on when we see some words made about just mindset and and how you have to break someone's mind.
When you break,
and I just think that we all of us as new millennials, I think like, why didn't they just rise up? It's hard to break a fear.
When you're fearful of where you're going to go afterwards. You even hear Noah and Henry talking about like they have to think about what's next now.
A lot of decisions to be made.
There's a lot of decisions, and they're leaving everything that they've known.
And in Haiti and some other countries, the slaves did revolt because there were so many more slaves than
there
owners.
There were always more slaves.
I mean, in America there were more slaves, but there were so many more in comparison in the other countries that they were able to revolt easier.
And they probably pulled together. There was a lot of when you take people from their home, and you bring them. It's kind of hard for them to come together, and I think that's what happened.
Maybe in Haiti they had a better understanding of the land and what's going on. Like they had more opportunity to kind of navigate. Whereas in America they can't read. They don't know country. They don't even know really outside of their plantations. So how could they without a plan? And do they know how to put a plan together without somebody finding out? So Henry is he's learning these kind of things though. He's actually learning this from the Indians, the Native Americans, just the land and how they have masked themselves from the white people, and just break some really good tips that he can take, and he's feeling like he belongs until the guy has to leave and he can't take Henry with him. He goes back and tries to get his belonging with the people he ran away with, and then we see him talking to Cato.
Cato always up to something.
Yeah, what did he have? I kind of missed it.
It was too fast. I don't think.
Yeah, some object or tool. Yeah, we should have.
But I think they did it that fast so you couldn't see it. Anybody who saw it, please comment. Let us know what it was. I thought it was like powder. Was it powdery substance?
I don't know. I'm more concerned with the conversation with Cato. Cato is just a jerk.
He's
like, you ain't Noah's favorite. He got that up on that girl.
Why is he so angry? Why is Cato so angry now? Like, you made a decision.
So angry now? Cato probably came out the womb angry. Burnt up face.
Angry.
He's mad at the world.
Made me crazy out here. No, but he's turning on the people that are trying to help him get to freedom too. It's like
ultimately Cato's not concerned with Henry's freedom or Noah's freedom or Rosalie's freedom. He's concerned about his.
He'd be asking about Rosalie too much. He'd be like, and she fine, she got that body. I'd be like, Cato, I feel like something's gonna happen.
So the way he was just talking to Henry, like just see Henry kind of shut down a little bit just from the conversation, about just manhood and all these things. Cato, you can't teach Henry to be a man.
Inappropriate,
You can't teach Henry to be a man. Henry doesn't have any family or anything. Yeah. He's just looking for a little connection. Yeah. So when he moves on to
he's
Noah,
like, okay, Cato.
Okay, Cato. I don't even know why I came in
why
here.
I even come
Thought
over
you could give me a couple more fight moves, but I see you're on one today. So let's go over here.
You own one, so I'm going to go over there to Noah.
And he goes with Noah, and Noah gives him the tattoo like you want, and they talk about their last name.
That was so touching. That was so sweet. And the fact
Noah
that
and
he
Henry
let
Hampton.
Yeah, he let Henry choose a last name and then said, yes, me too. It's like they're brothers. That was so sweet.
Did you see Henry's little face, though? He was so happy. The elation.
He has his tattoo now. He got his bro, little last name.
We thought it was all going to be perfect. I told you it got too quiet.
She looked at like something's going to happen.
I'm like, it's too quiet. It's too beautiful.
And he moves over to Rosalie. And he learns Rosalie's got her cooking. She likes to do this. It reminds her of her mama. And that's touching for him because he doesn't know who his mama is. Yeah. And
he feels like Noah and Rosalie are going to be his family.
Yeah, she wants to teach him to cook. She said she'd like that. So it made him really feel good because like she wants to be a part of your life. She wants to have this connection with you.
Because Cradle just told him that Noah doesn't care. Rosalie doesn't care about him. They only care about themselves. And they're showing him that they do care about him.
And we see that they are found and they get shot at. And Henry's the first to take a bullet. That's a warning shot. He gets hit with the warning shot, which is crazy. It's like, no, Henry. We just seen a good moment for Henry. He's got family now.
Why they do that to Misha? Why you do that? Why y'all do that to us?
Yeah, we were all yelling.
I was feeling
we
good.
all thought it was
and then
crazy.
we're screaming. People are looking at us like we're crazy.
I'm just like, wow, like, I thought they were going to be safe.
I just wanted, you want a happy ending.
Yeah, I just wanted to be safe for just a little bit longer. And, we see them crawl into the tent. And Noah wants to, be Noah and run out there. Henry tells them that it's gunpowder because he learned from the Indians, the Native Americans, that there's gunpowder in the other hut. Just, blow that joint up so they can back them up a little bit. Noah runs out there.
Gets two shots. What were you doing? You knew you was going to make it.
Yeah. But who comes and saves him? Henry comes, runs out. Once he shies too much, he runs out and throws the fire into the gunpowder and the burst of flames.
It's a big boom.
Henry.
That was Henry. Well, did he didn't make it? Did he?
I don't think he did.
I mean, he might have.
He might have. We're probably have to see next episode. He made. I don't think he did.
Seems like he didn't, but we don't know for sure.
Because he got shot twice.
Yeah.
He has a better understanding of family than most people. He doesn't even have a family.
He saw that flash of him and Noah, the bond, and he was like, I'm going to save my brother.
At least he had a nice, positive, happy moment right before. That's the only good thing about it.
That killed me. I just wanted to be
Henry
happy.
was really the hardest one to take because he's always been just
a
nice,
he's like a
kind of innocent guy, and we always just see him just kind of lollygagging around, kind of clueless, and just
he's a teenager, right? Yeah,
you gravitate to that.
Yeah, the innocence in him. That I really hope he lives.
I mean, we're also seeing that that's a good point to touch on. Maybe the innocence in them is what is making their judgment so much more clear. Because he immediately jumped on the idea of family. Cato doesn't.
Cradle would never do that. Cradle probably ran.
We don't really know what Noah and Rosalie feel about all of the three of them between how they feel about the next person, because Rosalie had her mom, she had her brother.
Yeah.
How does she feel about these people who ultimately she never really interacted with?
Yeah.
Because she was in the big house, whereas Henry, these moments instantly clicked into his mind of what family meant. And then taking the risk for them.
I don't know. That hurt me though. I hurt when that happened. I felt so much pain. You saw me, Jamie.
Yeah. Henry's death hit you.
If we didn't have to go on camera, I think we would have cried more. Like, I was holding it in.
I was crying when the little boy was picking cotton. I was like, I can't see children. For me, I cannot watch children. Like, adults were stronger, were built, but children don't understand. And this little boy had this understanding in his eyes. These kids all have this understanding, and like, this is the way life is.
Because, this is kind of something we learned as we move on to TR about, breaking the horse, breaking the female. These are younger kids who have not been broken. Yeah. Really. So they can kind of think differently because they're not years and years into this imprisonment mentally.
Yeah.
So they kind of see different ways to kind of maneuver. Yeah, like I'm not sure if any other slave, the other adult slave, would have thought like James did to put that extra weight into his bag.
Yeah.
They'd have been too scared.
Yeah.
They'd been too scared.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that fear.
He has a more bold, and he also grew up in the house playing with Master's son, so that kind of gives him that more daring, boldness.
Yeah, because he hasn't been in prison yet, basically.
Like Rosalie was bold going into Master's office and taking the that's bold. There's no other slave. You saw the
fear in her.
She was scared.
She was scared to death. You don't see that same level of fear in James and the other kids. You don't see this imprisoned fear.
Because they haven't experienced the punishment yet.
Yeah.
The punishment, the ultimate.
Like, literally none of them have maybe Henry has been whipped before, but none of them has been like whipped or seen what happens, even when you're wrong, right?
I mean, Henry grew up on a breeding farm. He's probably seen a lot.
He's seen a lot, yeah.
So he's seen a lot. But TR. He disappointed me so much.
TR was hurt. So I
don't want to jump, but first he's waving.
Yeah, what was he doing? You don't wave.
Why is he you can't wave at him. You're gonna get him and single him out. Okay, he doesn't know.
Because he's never seen what his father does. He's always in the house playing with, little James or all around his mother. They picture him like he's a baby.
But he see James out there like picking corn. I mean, not corn, cotton, and he's over here waving. Hey.
He doesn't understand.
Yeah. You would have thought
that
sheltered. He would have seen something from like the windows of the house and kind of like he knows what they're going through. Yeah, I guess so.
I think he's very sheltered, and that's what they see him. You see him running around with the little horse, and the person who stops him is this crazy, mean pastor.
That is a crazy pastor.
I strongly dislike him.
And we find out that he's the reason why James is in the field now. And he's the reason why Sam is not, no longer doing the woodwork. We find out that the pastor has came in and just changed everything. And it's like...
Because Massa is desperate for that church vote.
Yeah.
So he's trying to do anything to... appease him, and he tells TR that you're too young to play with toys. Mind you, TR's like 12. Like, you can play with a daggone horse if you want to.
It's
like
okay.
12. Like,
it's okay. We don't care.
We don't care. You want to be a horse player? So he takes him out to the horses and says, let's get you up on a real horse. And TR gets his first vision of, mistreatment as they're whipping the female horse. And Horse Reverend takes this moment to pick at Ernestine.
He picks at Ernestine a lot. You remember when he first noticed Ernestine, the way he looked at her.
Because he knows.
I think he knows.
He definitely knows.
Yeah, he definitely knows.
He called her Jezebel last episode. Remember that. So he's definitely on top of getting her and hurting her. That's why James out. And I said the last episode, he's gonna get James out there.
And his language was describing the horses was just like describing slaves. And that was it was like a metaphor.
He used female specifically.
Yes, and TR was so naive to it that he was like, well, we shouldn't do this. But then, again, he's not saying that for slaves yet. So it's interesting.
He knows that it's hurting somebody. It's hurting something else. You're not supposed to do that. He doesn't know.
Is that really how they break horses? I don't think...
I'm not sure
that's not how they... I mean, maybe back in those days they did, but that...
Hopefully not that.
I hope that's how they...
I'm hoping they don't do that now. I'm sure something happens, where it's some discipline,
but not to that extent.
He was like tearing that tail up, like, just going hard, and TR is just sitting there in a pure amazement about the pain that he's causing, and this metaphor that he uses is just like... How do you tell this to a child?
It's crazy how all these children can see the difference between wrong and right. And it's hard for the adults to see, like, this is wrong what you're doing, but these children can see it. They're like, this is wrong. Even, like, August's son, like, what you're doing, Dad, is wrong. But his dad seems to, all he sees is greed and money, and it just shows when people become adults, our driving forces like this survival jaded. And we get jaded and it's money and greed and it's sad.
We don't have an open view of the world anymore.
It's no longer rainbows and butterflies. Now it's like survive. I want this. Money. I want houses and all that, and it's sad.
That's kind of like Master's. I keep calling him Master because I can't think of his name really.
Mr. Macon.
Tom.
Mr. Macon.
He's like telling TR that I'm going to show you what I do, and one day this is all be yours. And it's TR takes it as I can get James. I can change things for James because he sees the moment that Sam comes in and wants to buy James's freedom.
That was a sad moment.
But I know that Sam knew that this was a perfect moment. Even though he was coming in and just now noticing TR that he was like, bam,
You think he did it because he knew that TR was there and that he was going to be able to...
I'm not sure if he knew TR was there, but I think that Sam is conniving enough to know this is the perfect moment because TR is right there.
Yeah.
And would Master want to say something in front of TR? Is he that kind of person? He knows that Master has these little He knows that.
Tom is so kind towards Sam. Mm-hmm. He's very, like, even when you see him talk to others, he's very, like, he touches Sam. Like, back then, they didn't touch their slaves like that.
Because even though Sam is not his son, he's Ernestine. He doesn't even talk to TR like he talks to Sam.
The way he talks to Sam is very, like, it's close. He touches. He's like, you're my prize, nigga. That's like for him to say that to him.
$100. He was like, you worth saved up $100. $100 was a lot back then.
It was.
It's a lot.
He was like, you're worth more than that. You're my prize.
And he was like, no. I'm trying to buy James's freedom.
Yeah, that was really touching. Like, just the fact that he would do that for his brother. And I think he definitely took advantage of the that in front of TR.
Yeah.
Because he knew how TR felt, and he knew he could tug at the emotions through TR, and knows that that Tom is a little bit softer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So why not?
Tom is so soft when he doesn't have the influence of the mistress, of his wife, and of
the reverend pastor.
Like, I feel like they could have had it really easy with Tom because he's not.
Because he didn't say flat out, "No, get out of my face." He's like,
"Oh no, no."
He's like, "He's just a boy. He can't be out there without his freedom." Because this means you're already considering it.
Yeah,
you're not even.
He's a boy. I think he would consider because Ernestine, that would make Ernestine happy, and
Ernestine makes him happy. But Sam persists in the other part, like, I'll go out there and you can hire me out to work. He can live with me. I can make the money. That's why he said, look at the desk.
Yeah.
He's tugging at TR. He's tugging at the moment that TR is right there because TR sees this. He knows. We know Sam is thinking outside of the box.
But above all, Tom really cares about the money and the business and, like, the enterprise rather than the actual people on the farm. And so it's so sad, even in front of his own son, that he doesn't give in to this deal.
No.
You think he wants to, but his pride or just him trying to win this?
I think if he didn't want to, it'd have been a flat out no right there. I think something in him is either thinking about it.
His eyes got all glossy and stuff. Like the way he talks to Sam, like there is so much like emotion, compassion. And to me, I'm always struck when I see them in like a scene together. The compassion he has for Sam is unlike
his mixed kids or Ernestine kids versus his wife's kids.
Yes.
He doesn't talk to them like that. He doesn't acknowledge them. He doesn't even look at them really.
Yeah. That's very interesting. I hope they flesh that out more because it always stands out to me like when they're in a scene together, just the way he treats him. It's like oh, that's very interesting.
Yeah, and it's just weird. So TR takes that little bit of information and he knows like this is one day gonna be mine. I'm gonna go see my friend James and tell him that one day I'm gonna get you free. It may take 10 years, but I'm gonna change things.
James is like, how long?
And TR's really not even just talking about James. He's talking about the whole plantation.
He didn't say free. He said I'm gonna change.
It's gonna be different.
It's gonna be different. He never said freedom. That I did know. He never said freedom. He was like, it's gonna be different.
Positive change.
Maybe a better. We won't whip y'all.
For everybody.
We won't whip everyone, or,
And it's interesting to think if he actually did try and carry out this plan in 10 years, is he going to change or is he just going to be like his father?
He's probably going to be like his father.
Yeah, and just care about the business and forget that he used to be friends with James.
Yeah, because look what happened to the mother. The mother grew up with
Pearly May.
Pearly May. And she had so much hatred towards her. Yeah. You would think they didn't even know each other.
You would think, and that's because it's the same pattern.
Yeah.
Pearly May, had that, even though her father treated both of them bad, Pearly May got a little bit more than love.
Why do you think that is? That because they said that he was a mean
Something
man.
about that melanin.
And wasn't Pearly May the daughter of the original?
Yeah.
So maybe that's why.
So she hated her like, you're my sister, but you got a little bit more love than I got. TR could eventually feel the same way.
Yeah. And see, we saw how TR switched.
Switch when he wasn't trying to say, tried to share his candy with James. James like, he has his mask on. I don't want your candy.
Because James ain't stupid. He's like, okay, in 10 years or maybe more. So what you saying? Nothing finna change. I gotta wait till I'm old.
And he put his mask. He's doing what he's told to do. His parents. I gotta mask myself from this foolishness that you're talking.
Because
I can't possibly believe this. You're still one of them.
Yeah, and it was sad because I feel like it was in that moment that he kind of realized like the system. Like James realized like, okay, I can't be friends with white people. I have to have my mask on. It was like that moment that he was like, okay, this is how it is.
And of course, quickly TR turned, and he saw before he saw Sam running. Don't know where Sam was necessarily running
I mean, we didn't know, but clearly it was.
We're thinking he ran away. And TR was like, I saw Sam running.
Why would Sam run after trying to buy his brother's freedom? After seeing what happens to everybody after one person, like he has to know that's gonna look bad for. It's gonna be really bad for his little brother.
We're gonna have to wait and talk about that. I don't know, but we saw TR tell him. What did you think
when TR? What did you think
when it's just like a light switch? TR was just
his face
different.
changed. He's such a good little actor. His face changed quickly. He was like.
I guess maybe for him that was his moment too. Like this is the way it is. Like I'm just gonna be angry now, and you don't want to be my friend, so I'm gonna just treat you poorly.
Yeah,
basically.
That's unfortunate that happened, but that's the way they ended it too. So it just, I mean, we saw what's gonna happen in the next episode, so it's.
Yeah, but before we go on, whose storyline out of James, Ben, Boo, Henry, TR in this episode, Cradle, really was the one for you?
The one that really pulled on my heartstring.
And did you cry?
James and Boo for me, but James just because when I saw his little hands and him trying to keep him from getting callous, that made me my heart, like James' story. That just really hurt me.
Jamie?
Yeah, for me it was James in the field. That was, I think I cried like almost in my head, like both times. And then also Boo when she was with Moses, the flashbacks, and also when she asked her dad if Moses was named after him. That was so sweet. It was like she really sees him as this leader, this fearless leader.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say a little different, although I like those stories. I'm gonna say Henry was it for me because just that he saved their lives.
Yeah.
He gave his life for them.
I don't want that to happen. Guess it's time for some predictions.
It definitely is. Predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV.
Before we go into predictions, I'm like so. I know people are gonna like comment. I'm just not interested in Noah right now. I'm just not interested.
So today I had a Twitter poll. Who's people's favorite character, and Noah actually got a lot of votes, so people do like Noah.
I just don't.
Why don't you like Noah?
Well, I just don't think acting wise, there's so many other people on the show that are just 10 times better.
I think the character.
And when he starts talking, it's really like the accent and everything that you're gonna have to play is in the slave road, that he's just not as good as everyone else's, and just his storylines just right now is just not doing it for me. Like it's so many other interesting things going on. They are building on so many other characters that Noah's just like, you're the lead actor of the show. I can't tell.
But it's a character driven show, so you have so many different facets of it. So it'll take you time to get into every character, and they are showing they're fleshing out a lot of stuff with other characters. They really haven't fleshed out like his past. Like we've heard Cato's past.
I don't care.
Yeah, I feel like I kind of agree with you because it is episode 7 and we don't
really know about
it. We just see like the dullness side of it.
Exactly. It's like it was so many headlines like all this Hajj. Man, Amir Van is way better. Journey is killing it. We have all these other kids. It's just like so much more interesting things to go on. I'm so not interested in him at all.
Yeah,
this is my opinion. Me personally, I'm not interested. Of course, I'm already only interested in Ernestine because she's just amazing. But I'm getting so many other things too.
You know what? I think because he is, one of the leads of the show. They're fleshing out all the characters, but you're gonna see, you're gonna see other stuff come from, but it'll probably like a bam at the end. That happens on a lot of like series.
He just doesn't do it for me. When he starts acting, I'm just like,
I think there are just more layers to all the other characters than him. He's just kind of like straightforward, like hero.
And then you have to have those characters, especially you have to have one of the leads or something to be a straightforward character that it drives the story, but you don't really know that much about them.
Let's change.
Megan, where are you at? This boy acting up in here.
Let's go with your prediction, Jamie.
Okay, so I think next week John Hawkes is going to find out about the little affair that happened between Elizabeth, and I think he's going to be really mad, obviously. And then I think somehow it's going to get around to the marshal, and she's going to side with her husband, so it's going to cause like pressure. And so eventually Boo might be in jeopardy because he's going to want to like tell on Boo to kind of get at Elizabeth.
Y'all, Jamie want to write episode 8.
Yeah. And then we'll add that she gets pregnant, Lina.
That'd be crazy though if she gets pregnant. Predictions, dang. We're coming to the end of this journey that we've embarked on.
Yeah, 3 more episodes.
3 more episodes. Okay, prediction. I predict that Elizabeth is probably going to take Boo in as her own, like get her some freedom papers or have, because, she finds out that Boo is one of the runaways from the Macon land. So I think she'll try to finesse it or find some way to get Boo some freedom papers. I definitely do it because she has this instinct towards Boo, and I really think she might just take Boo in or something.
That's an interesting thing, but I was going to say, I'm not even sure she knows about the Macon 7.
No, she asked.
Yeah. Because they're far away. I know he's trying to keep it a little bit on the hush, so I don't know.
Everybody knows about the Macon 7.
Well, they don't hunt slaves like that up there, so I'm not sure.
But she knows about the Macon 7, and she like, even when Boo told, she was like, "Who's your master?" She was like,
"Well, she put 2 and 2 together when she,
Tom,
she
so
knows."
She knows.
Yeah, I feel like she probably knows just because it's like big news in the
huge
area.
news, yeah.
And then also, as soon as she figured it out, she was like, "Uh-oh, there's gonna be someone at the door," and she kind of like called it. So
How did he come from nowhere?
Because he's a stalker.
He's a stalker.
He's just like banging on the door like from nowhere.
He knows her husband's out of town.
Yeah, he does know. My prediction is, I just think that the Reverend is after Ernestine, so something's gonna happen.
You think he's gonna rape her?
I don't think he's gonna try to rape her, but he's gonna try to get her away from Tom somehow. He's gonna try to get her away.
Why do you think
he's constantly jabbing at her because he feels she's a Jezebel and he knows about their sexual relationship. And I'm hoping that we are not gonna see too much more Kato. Kato has to be probably the next one to go.
I don't think Kato's gonna die. I definitely think Kato
will make it to season 2.
Noah, Rosalie, Boo are gonna make it. That's the last 4, right?
I think that's everyone but Henry, who probably died this episode.
I hope Henry lives.
Maybe Henry comes through.
I hope he lives.
I would really hope to see Henry again.
For him to find happiness and then die is gonna be
it's gonna be hard to carry him along the way. He probably has sustained a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
But guys, make sure you guys tell us in the comment box on Twitter what your predictions are for next week's episode. And of course, we will see you guys next week for episode 8. We have 3 more episodes to go. You can find me at I am Gary Thomas on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, all those good things. And ladies,
you can find me at just Lina Green on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and make sure you hashtag Underground WGN if you have any comments and stuff on Twitter.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at JamieBanks_, and I'll tweet you back.
And I'll tweet you back.
See you guys next week.
Bye.
Megan, come back to us.
Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.